I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you.
Aaron, nice to meet you, mate.
Nice to meet you, mate. How's things?
Big players that past players or players who have just left the club haven't been paid, but what can you tell us about that situation?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing to read it. To be sent it first and foremost on social media. So disappointed about that part. What I will say is all contracted players and staff were paid on Friday, and the players that all signed compromise deals were paid today. We should have, as a club, we probably should have communicated that a little bit better. But I think everything's just been blown out of proportion, mate, to be honest. There's no issues here at this club. And I suppose it's indicative of the kind of the culture we've had at the club in the past, that they feel the need to put it out there on social media. Like I said, we should have communicated that a little bit better. That's all been sorted.
And in return to on your shopping at net sort of comment from it a couple of months ago, do you wish you'd have chosen those words a bit?
No, not really. No. I was just in the moment. Wish George Griffin well at Sheffield Eagles. We've moved on as a club. We've signed some top quality individuals, top quality players, top quality people, and the culture will be a different culture than what we've had in the past.
Now you're on the inside, what were your first impressions of the club?
Yeah, no, it's really good. It's an exciting time for the club. Big year coming up, been a centenary year. A lot of change that's happening. You can see things being done around the club. It just shows the growth that the club's investing in and how they, the things that are getting built. We've got a new 4G pitch going out the back here. We've got new buildings getting put up around the facility. A lot of work's being done on the current facility. So yeah, there's a lot of investment being made, which is an exciting thing. It's a lot of people care about the club, and we've got to make sure that we pay that faith back and we do a good job on the field.
I know you're appointed in August, but I think you've watched all the games almost, at least most of them. What did you make of Castlewood's season?
Yeah, I did. I watched every one of the games from last year because it's important to understand the players and the style of game. Obviously, I've been working in the NRL, so wanted to familiarise myself with the Super League again. I've worked over here, but that was a while ago now. So watched every game, made sure that I got to understand our players and how they play and their style of play and their strengths and things that we can do better as a team. But probably, to be honest with you, I don't really want to look backwards too much. I just want to look forwards, because what happened last year on the field, that was out of my control. What is in our control now is what we do next. So I'm more worried about how we turn up for our week one, which is in the coming days. Yeah, definitely. Chesy's done a great job. We nearly talk now every day, Chesy and I, even when I was in Oz. So a lot of work's gone into that roster build. Hasn't even finished yet. We've still got a ways to go, which we're working through. But I think we're up to 12 or 13 new players, so it's going to feel new and different for the players who were here. There's going to be an injection of, different characters and different strengths to the group that we've gone out and recruited. But ultimately, it's going to come down to everyone doing their job, not just one or two individuals. So it's going to make sure that we start from the ground and build up.
Ryan, you've ever since you went back, initially names always been thrown up with jobs over here. I mean, why was this the right one? Why was this the right opportunity for you?
Obviously, I've always had ambitions to be a head coach. Again, I've been an assistant over there for the past 6 years in Australia. I love having my own team. I love being, in that role. But sort of the relationship that I'd have with Chesy, we sort of known each other for 6 or 7 years now. Since I was last over here, we sort of always remained in contact, and we see the game very similarly. Like we see the game the same way, and we share a lot of the same beliefs, both on and off the field, which I think is important to have that relationship at our level together, because if you don't know who you're working with, it can sometimes you find out when it's too late. Whereas I was confident in where I was coming into and where the club's heading and the room for growth. is, like I said to you before, is really exciting. There's a lot to work with here, and I love a challenge, and we've got a challenge here, and we're gonna grab it with both hands and go forward.
But what does a Ryan Carr team look like then on the field? How do you want Yorkcastle to look next year?
Yeah, I want a team that competes really hard. There's a few non-negotiables that we'll operate with. That, you know, the level that we compete at and how hard our effort is every game is going to be judged, and something that we're going to value really highly. The style of play, to be honest with you, I don't think it's. I've never been a person or a coach that's ever gone in with a fixed mindset about, oh, this is how I want people to play, because our team and who we are and what our strengths are, and we've got to play to those. So that's what a pre-season's for. It's going to be a really important time for us to gel together as a group and figure each other out, and we'll come out the other side of that with a real clear identity and clear style of play that we know works for us. But until we get our feet on the ground and start training together, I don't really want to comment on too much about that. But one thing I will say is we're going to compete really hard, and our effort levels are going to be extremely high, and we're going to do that consistently, and we're going to demand that of ourselves.
As you say, 12 and 13 players coming in, it's a big turnover. Do you see with that in mind it's a bit more of a long-term project, or do you think there is an opportunity to hit the ground running straight away and become competitive at the upper end of Super League?
Yeah, look, there's always long-term goals, and there's always short-term goals in anything anyone does. I'm definitely not coming in with a fixed mindset about anything. I'm coming in open and wanting to set really clear standards here early on, because I believe that any team can win any game that they turn up to. There's no rule about how long you've got to wait or how long you've got to spend. We've got to want to win everything we do from day one here at pre-season to the time we get to round 1 and round 2 onwards. And if we have an attitude of wanting to win everything that's put in front of us and compete hard to do that, then I feel like the results will take care of themselves. But we can't control where we're going to finish on the ladder. What we can control is how hard we work and the level of performance we put out there on the field. And if we control what's within our reach right now, then the results will take care of themselves.
Chris, just one for you. I think it sort of felt like everyone, the whole club was in a bit of a holding pattern in the latter part of last year. Do you feel like sort of let off the handbrake a little bit now? You can really start to accelerate the plans that you want to put in place here.
Yeah, definitely. I think getting Ryan on board with the start of all that, and I'm really excited about the way that Ryan thinks and his attention to detail. It's something that blew me away in his interview, and he's gone in depth in every single current player that we've got and reviewed every single game. And I know that we've got the right man at the helm here to lead us forward, and it's my job now to make sure that I provide him with the personnel for us to achieve those goals. And I'm looking forward to getting to work. We've already had a meeting this morning and with the backroom staff, and it's exciting times now.
How much more in terms of player turnover do you envisage? Are you a long way down the line with it, or is there still a bit more to be done?
No, there's still a bit more to be done. Yeah, still a bit more to be done. There's some players that we've identified at other clubs that we want to try and bring in, and I would say that there's probably going to be a few people that that walk out the door as well. So it's, as you know, in this game, it's ongoing. We still want to freshen the squad up, and I think we've got 12 new players. That might be 13, 14 new players in the next couple of weeks. So that's up to me to sort out and work on behind the scenes. And I know that like I said, we've got the right man for the job, and a guy that's going to bring that group of players together, and looking forward to working hand in hand with him over the next 3 years.
When's pre-season start, right?
The players will be in through this week, doing some initial testing, but essentially day one on the field starts on Monday. And we specifically chose that date because I think all bar Sammy Bellamé will be here for that date. He had Fiji commitments, so that's understandable. He'll be just a couple of days after that. But we just wanted to make sure we had every possible player we could starting on the same day, so we can get on the journey together as opposed to coming in bits and pieces.
this obviously pre-season's always important, but as a new coach with new players, it's really going to be a big 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, no, it is, mate. You don't get pre-season back. You know, you can't get to round one and then wish you did something different. You got to get it right from the start, and that's really important. Where a lot of planning's already happened, and we're going to continue to plan over the coming days as a group. Now that I'm here on the ground, and make sure that we get our program on point and get it right. Because yeah, you're right. You're spot on, Peter. It's an important time for us, and the work we do now will get repaid for come game time.
Were you catching up with Brad Arthur at all?
Yeah, no, it'll be good to see BA. Obviously, haven't seen him for a few years, but he's just around the corner at Leeds, so it'd be good to see him and the family.
Having watched all you, sorry, I watched all the games last year. What's the first thing you'd want to change?
Again, I don't really want to. It's not my place to sort of talk about how the game was played last year. I wasn't here, so I don't want to comment on it because it's not fair and it's not my responsibility. All right, and what's my responsibility is what we do next. And I've taken a lot of notes down about different things, about the style of play in the competition as a whole, because what watching every game allows you to do is see how oppositions play too and get a really good grasp of the competition in general, which is more my mindset, as opposed to looking at the current, how the team was playing at that stage. Because again, I wasn't on the ground, I wasn't here, I didn't have the information, so I don't want to comment on that. But yeah, I learnt a lot, which that's my job, to learn as much as I can and get as much information as I can and now pass that on to the playing group.
Do you foresee yourself bringing in any other backroom staff?
Chessy's, we're sort of nearly all but, aren't we?
Yeah, we're not far away with it all. So yeah, we've brought in some new members of staff that we which will go out on our socials over the next couple of weeks. But everybody's pretty much in place in terms of the backroom staff. You know, the coaching team will be same coaching team as last year in Scott Morrell and Ryan, and obviously Ryan. You know, we have a new medical team and a new S&C team. So, you know, that we'll put that out on socials at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Right, just one more from me. No, you go. Is making this place a daunting away trip to a visiting side one of your key objectives? Because it has been a not comfortable place to visit, but it's not had that same feel as the past under Del Powell, for instance.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a huge advantage of the club is the community that we're in. We're a rugby league community, passionate fans who care about the club deeply, and we want to create that hostile environment where teams come here because that's what home grounds are for, and everyone values their own home ground like that. But one thing I do know from first-hand experience is on its day, this rivals any other team in the competition for a home ground, and we're going to make sure that it's our job to make the community feel excited about us and give them the belief that they can come and support us, and because we need the support. We rely so heavily on our community, and it's our job to repay their faith and their support with good performances and making sure that we turn what is a huge advantage into one.
And every situation is different, obviously, but the likes of Lee, Wakefield and Hullsey, even last year, have shown what's possible from a lower base. Does that offer encouragement? Because it does show that in Super League it can happen quite quickly.
Yeah, look, we're not comparing ourselves to any other club in this comp. We are who we are. We've got our own identity. It's our responsibility to make sure that identity is the strongest one it can possibly be. We're going to make sure that we focus on building something special here at this club. I don't want to use past examples because, again, I'm not at those clubs. I can't comment on what they did or how they did it, but all we can do is do what we can and make sure that this club and everyone involved in it is excited to be a part of it, and we go on a journey where we get some really good memories out of it, which can happen, which I've been a part of in previous teams I've been in, and it can happen quickly if you wanted to.
What's a realistic timeline for success, Steve?
don't want to put one on, mate. It's work time. Like I said to you before, everyone's got short-term goals and long-term goals and anything in life. But as soon as you start putting timelines on things, you give people a chance to have outs, and we're not having any outs. Our accountability is going to be really high here at this club. Everyone's paid to do a job here, so we're going to make sure that everyone does their job to the best of their ability from day one, and it's going to happen every day moving forward.
What does a good season look like for Castan in 2026?
Making sure that we become the club we know we can be, both on and off the field. That will then allow us to, like I said to you before, some things you can control, some things you can't. So making sure that we're 100% on top of the things we can control. And when people come, like our fans, come to watch us play, they walk away feeling proud and having a real pride in our community and our club, because, like I said, there's a rich history here. It's our centenary year. It's a big year for the club. There's been a lot of investment put in, and we just want to repay all that support with good performances and give people something they're proud of.
I just want Chris, just on recruitment, what areas of the squad are you looking to strengthen still?
All areas. We're probably looking at an outside back, another middle. Few far between at the moment, but we're hopeful that the next 2 to 3 weeks there'll be a little bit of movement in the playing squad. But more than confident, more than happy with the squad that we've put together, and more than happy with the squad going into the 2026 season. If there's no more changes, but we want to try and freshen it up a little bit, and I'm working on that in the background. All position to make really. Just some position. We just want to bring people in that are going to improve this team, and I think that's the key to it all.
Well done, chaps.
Cheers.
Well, thank you for
Cheers, guys.